know who's ever watching these videos. Don't know who you are, but that's okay. We have with us today Rick Piper of Cross Comics. Hey, Rick, what's
Yo,
up?
not much yourself, Tim. How are you doing?
So I think the biggest question, I'm doing great. I guess I could be doing better. The biggest question
We can
is,
all be doing better.
yes, I know, but I'm getting to the biggest question, if you would let me, kind sir. The
No, I
biggest
won't.
question is, why won't you let me get to the question?
Cause
Because
you get
you want to be
frustrated.
difficult. I swear to God, Canada, damn it. Okay,
No,
so
it's not Canada. It's just me.
you're staying somewhere else. So I think it pretty much Canadian Shield and all that is probably on the back burner until you can get yourself on started, right?
Yes and no. I was actually trying to attempt to get somebody to do number 3. That actually fell through. Probably going to
Well,
go
yeah.
into
Well, I mean, you need to be able to pay them. They ain't working for free, right?
yeah. But
Yeah, yeah.
like I said, I have some money in my PayPal. I have some money in the
Oh, right. Yeah.
bank.
Right. So there's a way to actually somehow. But I mean, are you waiting till you get find a place of your own and you get like work
Well,
and such? So
they were giving me a pretty good price, but unfortunately, that deal has fallen through. I'll go into more of that on my show on Tuesday.
on Tuesday, right?
Well,
So yeah,
Tuesday, December something, 5th, I think,
I noticed
because I'm not sure when you're putting this up.
uh-huh, right. I noticed on your are you commissioning you're doing ink work for people?
Yeah,
You can,
or I have
you're,
been. I'm not sure whether I should take that down or not.
well, I mean,
I mean,
because I kind of I mentioned it to two people that I know. I told a certain person who's doing kind of a parody book. I said, well, Rick Piper's looking to do ink some pages. Um,
yeah,
and I told somebody else. Um, well, anyway,
yeah.
I asked around.
You're spreading the news. You're spreading the news, or however that old thing goes. Jingle. I think I'm trying to do it to the tune of New York. New York, New York. And you have no idea what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't.
It's an old, I think, commercial for New York or whatever.
I see. New York. I don't follow Rick. That's all right.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
before your time.
What is it before my time? What counts as before my time, Rick?
Well, you are
I was
what,
born
30?
1944.
You're
I was born
34.
19. I'm 44. 44.
44? Okay, so
Yes, I
there are
was born
6.
1979.
Yes, I was 6 when you were, born.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're an old man. You're an older man.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, maybe you were born when this was around, but you were probably like in diapers or watching TV or whatever, or you certainly weren't watching anything that didn't have a cartoon or
I
wasn't a
see.
cartoon. I would guess. Anyways, I forget when that thing was, or maybe it's from a Broadway show. I don't know where it's from. I'm
I don't.
thinking a commercial of
The
some
only,
sort. I guess it doesn't really matter because
the only show I was
Troll
ever
and Duff
familiar with.
Airs.
Okay, I see. I see. So let's see what else. What are you up to then? Since you're kind of waiting, you're kind of in limbo.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was trying to get somebody to do my Canadian Shield 3. And again, another reason I was trying to do that was because, of course, as you know, I lost a lot of data on my hard drive. That
Right. Any luck on getting your hard drive? Did you ever put
uh,
anything on Google Drive?
not anything real substantial.
Oh shoot!
Uh, It definitely makes me think when about buying like the $40 pack of the year and getting 200 gigs to be able to put there. But that doesn't help me now. I was gonna send my hard drive in to get looked at and see how much it was gonna cost. But I think I'm gonna wait till I get a job or get some extra money, because it could cost 300 or 400 bucks, or it can cost
Nice.
somewhere, or it could cost between 1,500 and 2,000 bucks.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
a
I think you ever
that's
are
a
you gonna be able?
and that's a big difference
Right.
in price. The 300 or 400 bucks. If it was that, I'd probably go for it now if I knew for
Right.
sure.
Have you shopped around? Oh,
I've
we have
lo-
we have a new guest. We have a new guest. Welcome, Doc. Hey, what's up, Doc?
Hey,
What's
Doc.
going on, woman?
Not
I'm
much.
just chatting with Rick Piper here.
Right on.
Did you
Rick
know that
Piper,
Rick
good
Piper?
people.
Yes, he is good people. Did you know he's looking to do inking for anything that anyone might have? If you just kind of floating that out there.
Say it again.
He's looking to ink some pages. If you ever have anything you could float his way, that'd be cool.
I'd
Yeah,
be curious.
I did.
I'd be curious what else's inks on my stuff.
I did
Yeah, yeah.
Melvin 3.
Yeah, I could send you a digital copy of Melvin 3 if you want to see an example of his inking work.
Well, his inking on your stuff ain't gonna look the same as it would on mine.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, true.
I just wanted to kind of float that out there. Maybe you consider him. How is your campaign going, sir?
Yeah.
I'm not campaigning right now.
Are you fulfilling then? Is that
No,
what's
we're done with fulfillment. We're in sign up now for a damn dirty thing, and
Oh, okay.
we're gonna launch that probably late February, early March to take advantage of tax season.
Oh, there you go. By the way, I love that cup. That's my favorite cup. That whole Pariah blood and mud thing. I don't know if I like the black one or the white one better. Yeah.
Did you
I don't
get
know
one?
which one I like better. No, but one of these days I'm going to buy one.
Okay.
I keep seeing it. I keep wanting it.
Yeah, I think they're on the website store at darkgiftcomics.com.
Yeah. Well, one day he'll buy something.
I know. I keep seeing it. I go, one of these days I'm going to have one. Damn it.
Yeah. Because there are lots of things that he said one day. Oh, I need to buy one of those things of Rick's. And I
Listen,
know.
We're all starving artists, boys and girls.
Yes.
Yes. Or more importantly, starving creators, because
I
wish I could draw as good as you guys.
I would love.
I'm jealous.
I would love to be able to back everyone I know's projects, but I can't. And it's a little discouraging sometimes, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell you.
Well, the big thing, of course, is trying to get us out of the pot where, we have to charge so much, because that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Over here, yeah. Over here on the table.
Well, you think we'll ever see a full book from Rex? Because some of those characters kind of, no lie, they kind of look kind of cool.
I think that once Rex finally pulls the trigger, we're going to see some good stuff. He's always plotting and scheming, Rex. He's always creating, shaping his ideas. And, I got after him, and I made him make a launch trailer at least, because that gets you in the mindset of, okay, a campaign is a real thing.
Well, I think he has just so many ideas. His ideas are so big in his head, he can't just pick one and just start with one.
Yeah, I know what that's like, having a zillion ideas.
Yes.
Then it's tempering stuff and focusing.
Yeah.
I have said many times that if I could find the right artist to do some of these ideas, that I can write. However, I'm kind of in that situation where, one, I can't afford to pay an artist, which is why I do my own art. However, I would, I would split generously on the back end. But having said that, no one knows my writing yet. I mean, if you read Pariah Blood and Mud, that's a little taste. After the novella comes out, I think that'll change because.
Well, kind of like my income bracket, I kind of have to go for like deals, and I usually have had better luck on Facebook of all places. That's where I found Sid, and Sid, his rates were a little smaller,
Oh
but
no!
his art was so good, I gave him a raise.
Well, you could give me a raise, Timothy, and I'm joking. I can't take on another project right now.
You're swamped, huh?
I am pretty backed up on project. Not backed up. That's not the word. Loaded down with projects.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same thing happened to Dillard. He took on so many projects. I think at one point he had to kind of say no to people.
Yeah.
Rick, you want to draw a book for me?
Yes, and I'm not too bad, but
He does decently on inking.
yeah. I've got to get my own books out too.
Yeah, I feel you. But Rick, let me ask now. So you didn't draw Canadian Shield?
Number one, I did some, we'll say pencils, but Dillard came in, did some inks, beefed it up for me for free. So that was, really great of him in that.
That was kind of the start for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. In Canadian Shield 2, somebody else did the pencils and inks. Pencils and inks. I did the colors. Canadian Shield 2.
All right. So, but you're primarily the writer.
Yeah. Well, even though I don't really start writing for them till I think issue 3 for Canadian Shield and issue 3, issue 4. I'm not sure. I got a couple friends to help me up first. You got to remember, some of these books were written like 30 years ago, and I was trying to snaggle friends into, helping me start this comic book universe, and
Right.
I thought I'd be the artist, I thought I was pretty decent compared to everybody I knew, and then you get in this field and, you find people like Dillard and you're like, oh crap, my stuff looks pathetic.
Never compare yourself to
honestly.
others.
Honestly, I'm jealous of Dillard in a good way. I saw his artwork. My book has to be 10. Melvin 2 has to be 10 times better than Melvin 1, and Melvin 3 has to be 10 times better than Melvin 2.
Yeah, and Snowdrift number 1 was done by Dillard pencils.
Yeah,
and again, I colored that.
Well, boys, I'll just say this: don't compare yourself to other people. Just make the book you want to make.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I get that. I get that, and but it's good to recognize where your talents lie and where your talent is in a certain field. You don't want to think you're like up here when you're down here.
Yeah,
you don't maybe down here.
Well, now I put it to you. Here's the question. Okay. Beavis and Butthead is reasonably successful, don't you think?
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
I would not necessarily call that breathtaking artwork.
Oh yeah. I get it. You can be successful with, what most people would consider, I think, pathetic artwork. As you mentioned, Beavis and Butthead. Of course, there's South Park, The Simpsons. There's the Steven Universe type stuff.
Right. If I may, for a second here, Rick.
No.
I will. This is my show. Watch your ass. Anyway, so Beavis and Butthead is written. Wow, it's written.
Sorry about that.
It's stupid but smart at the same time, since it's kind of ripping on the TV generation. But nobody noticed that.
It's deliberately stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
If people would actually notice that all their adventures centered around the television. But nobody noticed that, though.
Initially, yes. Now, the thing is, though, here's my point. Mike Judge was able to do a lot of storytelling with that very, we'll call it mediocre art at best. And then he went on and did the King of the Hill. Same thing. Yeah. That's not a groundbreaking artwork in any way.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's good storytelling, and the characters fit the story.
Well, a lot of it is based on where he grew up too. So that's another thing.
Right. My point being, though, that he didn't need to go out and hire, Warner Brothers or Disney or Frazetta or somebody to do his art. He said, no, this is good enough. This is good enough to tell the story. So that's what I'll use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Small beginnings. I mean,
yeah. As Scripture says, do not despise small beginnings.
I'm going to have to write that down because that is actually really good. So.
Yep. But there's another line too that says, bad ideas. Don't you love them?
I'm not sure whether that's Scripture or not, but sure.
Well, also, like I like to point out the story about, and I know Doc won't care for them much, but the band Nirvana, no one saw that band coming, and that was like a highly unlikely success story.
Yeah.
Nirvana happened, and that whole movement happened as a rejection of the surplus of glam metal.
Exactly.
Having said that, if you turn the visuals off, I'd rather listen to glam metal than wham wham grunge metal, grunge rock.
I would rather listen to grunge rock than glam metal. I feel stupid. I feel like my brain cells are dying listening to it.
What I appreciate from that whole genre is the musicality, powerful vocals, drummers who climb into a kit, not sit down behind one, shredders who can shred. The repudiation that came about in thrash was 3 chords, 1 drum beat, simple, blah, blah, blah. Everything opposite of what metal was doing at that time. And by that, I mean glam hair metal, not true metal, like Dio, Ozzy, Iron Maiden.
That's fine, but when it comes to glam metal, I think of the review of the first Spinal Tap album, and it goes as this: the growth of this band cannot be charted. They're swimming in a sea of sexual retardation and bad poetry.
Okay.
It's a good line, though.
but then I would challenge you to go and listen to "Wasted Time" by Skid Row.
I've heard "Wasted Time" by Skid Row. Yes.
Extremely powerful lyrics, vocals, musicality, everything about it. It's a 4.0 song. Nailed it. And that was at the height of the glam metal stuff.
Okay, I've got to go change my laundry in the dryer, so I will be back in a few minutes.
All right,
Rick.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's a generational thing. I grew up and I hit high school in '96, so I got into the
I was on my second divorce by then, Timothy.
Maybe that's bad memory for you, I guess. But
yeah,
I went from grunge to punk to hardcore. I went to all the hardcore shows. I gladly went to the mosh pit where I got the shit kicked out of me and had a good time.
My generation grew up with metal. We were there for Sabbath, Deep Purple, all those heavy hard rock bands that evolved into metal, and then it grew wings and it spread out into prog metal and thrash metal, which I'm not a fan of.
I do like thrash metal. I do, but it's kind of funny. That's where the whole hardcore and metal thing kind of connected. And then, like in the late '80s, you had something called the crossover bands, where you had hardcore bands that were starting to do a little bit, like it was like hardcore metal. You had like the Cro-Mags. You had DRI, which meant Dirty Rotten Imbeciles.
I'm not a fan of the Cookie Monster singers.
Oh yeah,
Singers.
that sounds like Scooby Doo.
I'm not a fan of this the self-limitation that a lot of bands put on themselves. Like, no, don't do a melodic, powerful guitar solo right here. That's what the glam people do. Let's don't do that. Well, then you just produce mediocre music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a style now, but like in the '80s, these hardcore bands were like, you're not going to get on MTV. You're not going to make $1 million. They weren't thinking like that. They shortened they would record the song first. They would do the intro and the outro later. They would cut out all the fat, and they would just get on with it. That was the style they were going with, and it was a very do it yourself movement. And they weren't thinking about, like, you're not going to be rich off this.
Who are you talking about?
Hardcore bands, punk in general. They weren't thinking that. They weren't thinking that. 40 plus years later, they kind of dominates the pop culture landscape. Then. Put it this way. Let me put it this way. The Misfits, a couple of years ago, they did a reunion tour. They sold out Madison Square Garden. In the early '80s, that's unthinkable. They would never have been able to do that.
And I get that, but I'm not talking about popularity or accessibility. I'm talking my standard is just the talent that goes into it. That's what draws me to a band, and it doesn't have to be a masterpiece
right.
of music. You could have some old-fashioned fist pumping, head banging, rebel yell. Why? Because it's well composed, it's well executed, it's hard driving, it's not pretentious, it just is what it is. But the talent is evident, and it's on display, and it's in your face, and it's unashamed talent.
Can you hear her when she laughs loud like that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No.
Is that your
a good
mom?
time. No, that's not his mom.
No, that's my cousin. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, my mom died. My mom died.
Well, that's what I thought. I was making sure I had my story straight before I asked.
Yeah. I'm staying with my cousin right now till I get a job and then get a place of my own.
I got you.
That's why I've been kind of passing around that he's available for inking.
Sure.
Yeah, I actually had a
helping somebody out now.
I had a somewhat pretty good phone interview today, although for sort of a temporary job, doing income taxes, starting in like January or something like that.
Well, that's better than nothing. That's something.
So that's going to be a few months, couple months. It's not a sure thing yet. They give me They give me a little bit of a phone interview today, and then I might know next week. If they call me next week, I go in for like an in-person interview, and then I gotta wait, see whether I get it, again.
Have you thought about grocery retail? That's an easy gig to get into.
Yeah, I've put into I think some grocery stores. The biggest thing I hate is I go to the Indeed site, to put in my resume because it's got there, and then like 10th or more of the places, like they got an ad up there, right? Oh, go to their website to put it up, and then you got to sign up for all this. Do a sign up for their website, like this grocery store's website that you're never going to use this thing again after you apply for this job.
Right. It never used to be like that. I mean, even like in the early 2000s, it wasn't like that. Now
I gotta grab some more coffee, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right.
So you know,
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Try a smaller chain too. That because usually those are easier to get into.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if it's showing, if it most 90% of the time it says go to a website and apply on their website, I'm like, forget it. I'm not signing up for 50 billion websites for stuff I'm not going to use, just to get a job. Because yes, I need a job very bad, but I'm not sure whether I need it that bad yet.
Oh, I see.
Maybe being a bit too picky.
Well, I don't know. You got to go with as soon as you get a job, that's when you can kind of move forward. You're kind of in limbo at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a little bit back. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So when you do get settled, what projects do you want to kind of roll on besides Canadian Shield 3?
Well, Snowdrift 2 is still in the works. Actually, I've been trying to get a hold of Dillard the last couple weeks, sending him a DM messages on Twitter, and he hasn't responded.
Well, he's probably still busy with the whole yellow flash thing, or
yeah, I gotta like in on Scribbattle, one of the days on Scribbattle. Oh, it didn't happen this week. I gotta say, hey Dillard, I've sent you a message on Twitter a couple times. When are you gonna answer me?
Yeah, come on, dang it. Well, Dillard's a busy man.
Yeah. Yeah, but Dillard usually makes time for Rick. Perfect timing for that laugh, eh? But yeah, I've got the Canadian Shield in the work. Snow's still in the works with Dillard doing the pencils on that. Flyfox Pro, if you know who he is, doing the inks, and then he's supposed to be doing pencils and inks on the Flame #1. And right now it's up in the air for Canadian Shield. I might end up still doing it, have to redo a bunch of stuff from scratch, or might end up getting somebody else to do it. Well, like I said, I had somebody that I thought I was going to be getting to do it, but that fell through. In my opinion, stupidity on their part.
I take it your cousin's watching something funny.
Yes. She's watching something, I think it's on YouTube. It's called 1 Hour of Total Idiots or something like that.
Well, right now we're almost at 30 minutes of total idiocy, but we're not quite there at 1 hour.
So
we're not quite that funny though, unfortunately.
Oh my God,
Timothy, would you like to see the new trailer for Damn Dirty Thing?
Yes, I would, please. At the stage.
All right, let me know when you can see it.
I sees it.
And there you go.
Short and to the point, and
cool.
Man, I love that logo. It's so freaking red.
I enjoy the simple things.
Yeah. And you don't want to overcomplicate it. Straight to the point,
Straightforward. What is it? Straightforward, heads down, no nonsense boogie. That's what it's all about, baby.
Damn right.
Uh,
There's a young lady that I knew, and she would go to the clubs to go dancing. And she's one of the few that would go to clubs to actually dance. She wasn't there to pick up or be picked up. So she came up with that phrase, head down, simple, no nonsense, boogie. She just get out there and boogie.
Yeah, I get you. That's a good one. Well, this year, I mean, next year I should be
So
after Melbourne 3 and Melbourne 0 are all put out and everything's everything's squared up with everybody else. I will be ordering inventory, and I will be moving forward with my Etsy store, which the main point of my channel will be to advertise my books. I think it'd be
well, let me ask you a question, Timothy. Why would you use Etsy instead of just setting up your own website and marketing your own stuff?
I don't know. It just seems like it's something to do.
Well, let me encourage you to look into setting up your own website to sell your product.
well, I'd say do both because more people go to Etsy, so they're more likely to find him.
People go into Etsy. You really think they're there shopping for comic books?
Oh, probably not, but
There's a category for it.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question.
I do actually. I do actually have a. It's one of those website builder websites. I do have one in like rough draft mode. I haven't really moved forward with that.
Yeah,
One step at a time.
Marketing is always the thing. I teach this, whether you're fine art or comic book art, doesn't matter. There's three things you got to do to succeed. You got to make art. Let's make your comic book in this case.
Yeah.
Got to make your product.
You got to be prolific and proficient at it. All right. The second thing you got to do is show it to people. That means the marketing. Get it out in front of eyeballs. And the third one is be nice. That means stand behind your product. Treat your customers right. That applies to fine art. That applies to comic book art. So it's make art, show it to people, be nice.
And the best part is when I actually get Milton 4 and Zed Odysseus 1 done, as soon as I start talking about it, well, yeah, I'll definitely get updates on my artists when they finish, but it will be ready. It'll be available right when I start talking about it on my channel. When is it available? Right now. Here's the copy right here. See?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's wrong. They should not be ready when you start talking about it because you want to let people know that they're coming.
That's the whole point of tweeting.
Now, the way I've been operating and will continue to operate for at least a little while longer is I like to have my product done before I launch the campaign.
Yeah.
And it's only because in this economy, it's a big ask for someone to trust you that you're going to deliver.
Well, also, unfortunately, in the circles that we run, most of us, there has been quite a few people that have not delivered.
Correct. So because of that, it doesn't hurt your campaign at all to go, hey, this thing's done, ready to go to print.
You don't want to be those people that have been hired for several projects and then let go of all those projects and then funded and made a lot of money and then you're still not. It's not that you're late on it. It's just that you're not showing that people that you're working on. You definitely don't want to be one of those people.
Right.
Because then you're just and then the people that are enabling you are stupid because they're just basically enabling a lot.
Yeah.
You don't want to be one of those people.
I guess it's I don't know, man. I'm going to say this with all the love in my heart. I've been doing art professionally for 40 years. It went hand in hand with my counseling practice, but it was painting, but it was always the mindset of I deliver. I'm going to deliver the product. If you hire me for a commission, you're going to get your product.
You're obligated.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm obligated, but I also follow through. It's professionalism.
Right.
You know, you're not a professional artist because you make art and you get paid for it. You're a professional artist because you make art, somebody paid for it, and you delivered.
Right, and then people get
Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
I hate to cut this short. My ride is here, and therefore it means that it's the end of the show. I want to thank Doc for stopping by and
Thank you.
delivering his wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
When a Damn Dirty Thing is launched, please back it and get those damn mugs because those mugs are dope. Also, if anybody is looking for an inker, Rick Piper is available. He's a fantastic inker because I used him on Melbourne 3, and you'd be a fool not to hire him.
And he's a hell of a good guy, and he's going to deliver.
Yeah.
Damn right. Anyway, this is Tim saying goodbye and have a good day.
Peace out, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.